What's up, everybody? Welcome back. The purpose of today's video is to show you how to build a personal brand in 30 minutes or less, however long this video takes, to be honest. The frameworks and steps I'm about to show you, which are four, are the frameworks I have used for myself and many other clients over the last 8 years of leading over 1,300 strategy calls to help these clients win and find success using Instagram as their lead revenue driver, whether that's for a business they started thanks to their personal brand or a business they had existed before building their personal brand that they're now using to grow and amplify that business. So let's get right to it. First thing I like to tell my clients is segment your content with the organic marketing funnel. Each piece of content you create has a different purpose. Some of them are there to create following, others are there to create brand, others are there to convert. Okay, so look at this like a literal funnel. The top of your funnel is where majority of people are going to be mostly interested in, which is B-roll lifestyle videos, talking head videos, mindset, luxury, aesthetic. The outcome is to build awareness and bring people into your world. There's going to be more people interested in the cool looking stuff that you do than they are in your offer. And that's for obvious reasons. You're looking for general audiences. You're looking for a lot of followers to build this group of people that you want to now start watching your stuff. As people drip down your funnel and you create more content, you're now getting into the middle of that funnel. This is where you establish authority and you educate your audience. You have to create competence. You have to show your competence in order to build trust. And this is where you do that. This is where you speak about market insights, industry trends, talking head videos. The reason why your engagement drops around the middle is because less of the people who came in from the top are interested in your specific industry, and that's normal. That's because now you're only attracting people who are interested in watching that kind of content. And the purpose of this is to build trust and credibility anyway, so you might as well build credibility and trust with the right people. Once you come down to the bottom of funnel, the purpose of this is to convert warm buyers into leads, or warm viewers into leads or buyers. So if you visualize somebody falling through your funnel, if you visualize 10 people falling through your funnel, right? Maybe out of the 10, 8 of them are interested in your industry. And when they land at the bottom, 5 of them are interested in your offer. That's the organic content marketing funnel. This is where you talk about client testimonials, walkthroughs, offer-driven videos with clear CTAs. The purpose, the outcome that you're going to get from this is generate leads, calls, and I just noted generate is misspelled, leads, calls, and drive revenue. Okay, that is the reason why you want to segment it, because I know a lot of people out there, you're probably listening to this, that post way too much bottom of funnel content and are confused why they're not selling and growing following, because they're only trying to find the people who are interested in buying their stuff, but they're not working on building brand or building an audience. Same thing goes for people who only post top of funnel content. They post all this promotional material, cool looking stuff. They have 500,000 followers, but they're neglecting showing their competence, their skills, what market they're even in, and they're neglecting having CTAs on the right videos. They're not nurturing their leads, their viewers that can turn into buyers using this system. So having a balanced content strategy using this is what's going to help you A, grow followers, B, build trust, and then C, from that trust, convert people from the middle and top of your funnel. Now we're getting to phase 2 or step 2, how you're actually going to create this content. So I put together a few different videos and examples from clients and myself to show you what a week's worth of content should look like for your brand. Okay, so the first day, let's say Monday, Tuesday, you can post some lifestyle videos. Those 2 days are reserved for you to build a following, right? I just want to have 100,000 views on my next video and gain 2,000 followers. And out of those 2,000, then I can start nurturing them. You need lifestyle. After that, you could probably post podcast content on Wednesday. Thursday could be talking head content, motivational stuff. Friday could be talking head content at the property. Let's say you're a real estate agent and you want to show competence about your market and trends that are going on within your industry. This is more middle bottom of funnel. This is going to be on Friday. And then Saturday, boom, your CTA walkthrough. Then you show your audience that has come in from the top, nurtured from the middle, now at the bottom, what property you're actually trying to sell them. Okay, your cool looking walkthrough, maybe a client testimonial, closing, showing the experience of the client by working with you. And how you actually do this is 2 different formats. I don't want to bore you with a whole bunch of different of them because there's sub formats under short form, such as B-roll, talking head. There's a bunch of other different formats that you could follow, but there's long form and short form. Keep it simple. You could do YouTube videos, how I'm doing now, to show competence and build brand. I'm building credibility with you by showing you that I know what I'm talking about, using a strategy that I use and my clients use, and giving it to you for free. And then you can also turn short form. You can also use short form videos to do the same exact thing. Use Instagram to start, master one platform at a time if you're just getting started. But then you can become omnipresent, post on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, Facebook, all that. And, you'll have content all over the place. The setting does not have to be professional. Okay. If you're starting out, the way you deliver your message isn't going to matter as long as it's done the right way. How you deliver it, I'm sorry, using your phone or your camera. As long as that message hits and it's digested by the end viewer, it doesn't matter if you made it with a $5,000 camera or a $1,000 iPhone. What matters most is that it landed. So if you're getting started out, don't let your lack of resources into professional videography stop you from starting to create. So 3 different settings you should always focus on every single week: B-roll footage, talking head, lifestyle content. Simple. Now, if you want to edit your own stuff, these are a few tools that I like to use. CapCut's my number 1, edits number 2, easier to use in CapCut. Opus is fantastic for podcast footage. If you want on a podcast and it's an hour long, it will actually clip it for you so that you don't have to do it. And then Descript is my last one on the list. It's not my most favorite, but it does have AI elements, and it's really good to use to edit if you're more experienced with doing this stuff. If you don't want to do that and you just want to hire out, you can find editors online. Okay, if you look up on Instagram, Real Editor, you will find them all over the place. I recommend offshore just because the cost is much lower, and there's incredible talent from Indonesia, Philippines, all over the place outside of the US. You will find really good editors. The only problem is a lot of them are solopreneurs. They're just getting started. So it is a hiring process. It's kind of annoying to find somebody with a team, good editing skills, who's consistently investing back into their software. They're just using this to make a quick buck and they're not really taking it serious. So you will go through that process. I promise you, the first editor you find won't be the last. If you want to avoid that, hire my team. We have already gone through this process. I have a team of 20 editors. The head editor is a fucking beast. Excuse my language. This guy has a team. He has systems, is organized. We have been working with him for years now, and he's always investing back into his infrastructure and software to make sure that the edits come out at the best of the industry. So if you want to avoid that, let me know. Reach out to my team below, and we'll start editing your videos on your behalf and even posting them. And if you want to find specific editors with specific criteria, you can use Fiverr. You just put the parameter you're looking for, and it'll segment it by the exact person that you want to work with. And it's a really good hiring tool if you want to use it. Now we're going to get to the good stuff, okay? The offer is what ties it all together, right? You could have a personal brand just to have a cool looking Instagram. Good for you. We're not talking about this here. This is for people who want to monetize the brand they built, to make money off their phone, to have that time freedom, to build a new income, a side hustle, or a new business from Instagram, whatever that may look like for you. There's 4 ways that you could do this. First one is brand deals, UGC content, user generated content. With an audience, brands will start reaching out to you to give you free product for you to promote with your content. You can do this and get paid a lot of money. I like the platform Cohley, COHLEY.com. Beyonce uses them a lot to find brand deals, and you can also start reaching out to brands once you have an audience, and that's your leverage, showing them that they can pay you and you can drive sales and promote their brand for them. Okay. The second one is obviously your own business. If you have your own business, just go with what already works, with what's obvious. If you have an offer that's selling, leverage your personal brand to expand your business. The third one is affiliate marketing. If you follow an influencer you really like, 9 times out of 10, they have an offer. The first thing I would do is buy that offer. You always want to stress test what they sell before giving it to your audience, because the last thing you want is to ruin your reputation because of a crappy offer. So go ask your favorite influencer after you test it if they have an affiliate program or if they pay commission in exchange for referrals. Most of them say yes. If they don't worry. You can optimize your proposal, or you can go find somebody else that does. But most of them do. We do as well. If you have anybody who's interested in marketing, for example, or content edits or press release, we have a whole ton of different services. You could send them to me or my team, and we can actually pay you a percentage for every deal that you bring on. And that can actually bring you a lot of money if you bring in a lot of people. So that's option number 3. And then number 4, which is my most favorite, is leveraging a skill that you have that you haven't monetized. Okay, if you have a skill that people have asked you for help with, or you have, helped yourself, and you found a positive results by leveraging this skill, that can turn into an offer. Now, if you do have a skill and you want to put together an offer, you got to use the right formula. I like to use the value equation. No, I'm not taking any credit. All credit is owed to Alex Hormozy. In my opinion, this is one of the most effective formulas to create a really good looking offer that sells. I didn't want to recreate the wheel. I didn't want to rename it. I don't take credit for this. Alex, he's a beast. This works. So first thing you want to know is what the dream outcome is. What is the problem you're solving? What does that dream outcome look like for them by purchasing your offer? If that's credit repair, it's an 850s credit score. If that's real estate, it's a beautiful home exactly for what they're looking for their family. If it's something else, you got to know. You got to know your dream outcome, perceived likelihood of success, of achievement. So you got to show that you are competent in this area. My page, for example, I have 300 posts of testimonials and wins with 300 different people that I have worked with over the last few years. So that is my proof that the likelihood of success for my offer is going to work, because past success shows you that the probability is much higher. So you got to have that proof. If you don't have it, show your own, or go give your service for free to somebody else who you haven't served yet. Interview them, get their testimonial, and then you could use that to to increase the perceived likelihood of achievement. Time delay, how long it takes to achieve set outcome. That's just the time you give to your package, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And then the effort and sacrifice is how much does that person have to actually put in effort in order to achieve said outcome. You want to diminish this as much as possible, because obviously you're selling this for a reason. The reason why they're buying from you is to make it easier for them to achieve the dream outcome. And the 5th one, my element, is the name should obviously reflect the outcome, okay? If you're selling credit repair, don't call it something like momentum. It makes no sense. They have to have prior context in order for them to understand what it is that you sell. That's a mistake. That's a lot of money being left on the table. It should be obviously reflecting what they get by buying your stuff. Okay, if you're selling credit repair, don't call it momentum, call it 720 plus in 90 days. Simple. In 90 days, you have a 720 credit score. Very easy. You don't have to reinvent the wheel around a name or come up with a name that you think is cool. You just have to come up with a name that other people understand and gets the message delivered effectively. 2 things you need to know: your costs and your profit. Anything above your costs is the value people are paying you for. The bigger the problem that you are solving for them, the more you can get paid. Now, here's a disclosure. You need to make sure that the price of your offer does not go above the cost of their problem, because then they will never buy from you. Got to have some sense in how much you can charge versus how much their problem is costing them every quarter, every month, or every year, however your plan is structured. Okay. So here's a quick example of my offer. Let's scratch it off as we name them. 90-day brand launch. I believe that here we could scratch off the name that is obviously reflected, okay, on the outcome. In 90 days, you get your personal brand done. Personal brands only, done with you and done for you. That eliminates the effort and sacrifice. This isn't only a coaching offer, this is a done for you offer as well. The time delay is 90 days. In 90 days, they get their personal brand. The likelihood of success, like I told you on my Instagram page, I have over 300 posts of testimonials and wins that people could go review if they want. And that usually helps a lot whenever I am offering this to people who want it. So you can see every single deliverable. You want to make sure that everything is listed. You don't want 1,000 deliverables like a Cheesecake Factory menu. You want to make it simple. The more information you add, the more confused a mind will be, the least likely somebody will make a decision. So you want to be concise. Okay, so I gave these, 2, 4, 6 deliverables, private coaching, that's the core. And then everything else is the value add, right? The 30 professional video edits, we're going to do this for them, 10 edits a month, 800 targeted DMs. So not only are we building their brand and showing them how to sell their offer, we're actually selling it for them. We're going to generate these leads for them. We're going to build out the offer itself. We're going to create promotional designs like this. We're going to set up their CRM. So once they generate leads, they land somewhere. We're going to create their SOP so they start hiring down the road. And everything else is basically bonus features. And finally, coming down to the content delivery, you want to have two tools on your tool belt. Okay, the first one is content organization platform that organizes every single video that you have edited for you. So if you ever hire a team or an ads manager, you know exactly where to drive them so they could find all your resources and digital assets that they could use for any ad campaign that they have. Okay. The second one is a posting scheduler. You can use Hootsuite or Planly. They're both really good. I personally like Planly just because it's a little cheaper than Hootsuite, and it's great for starters. So if you're starting out on social media and you want to delegate this to an automation, fantastic platform to use it. And it's 100% automated. Okay, you can post on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the platforms. Now, how are we generating the leads here? This is the very important part. CRM and automation integration. I like to use ManyChat. ManyChat is a fantastic process and workflow system that's going to automate the lead generation process for you. Okay, you want to visualize a ladder, right? I like to call it the value ladder. I'm sure you've heard of this before. In order for somebody to get to your core offer that's up here, they have to climb that ladder through resources that you either give away for very cheap or you give away for very free, okay? And they go up that ladder until they hit the core offer. So it could look like a free resource, a free webinar, a paid strategy call, and that strategy call is also designed as a sales call. And then at the top, it is the core offer, and boom, they buy the $5,000 offer, for example. That is a value ladder. Now, the bottom of the ladder starts with Instagram, the free resource, the blueprint, whatever it is you want to give away, which is usually solving a smaller problem out of the big one that you're solving, which is a core offer, to get their foot in the door, to get their contact information. That's what you want. Name and email. So I'll give you an example in one of my posts. I had a keyword here called society. I don't know what I was talking about. This video went viral and I got like 300 leads from this. If I didn't have this automation, I would probably still be sending DMs to these people. Okay, so you want to have an automation ready for whenever your content actually starts to perform and you have, a team of robots behind you to support you. And this is Meta approved. You don't have to worry about Meta flagging your account for automations. This is totally fine. ManyChat. So the keyword was society. I had two features to answer back to every single comment that said society. So I programmed this. Roger that DM'd you, got you now, check DM. You could control what they say, by the way, so they're not saying anything crazy or what you don't desire. Step 2 is sending them the link to a newsletter and or blueprint. In this case, I believe it was both. Glad you reached out. Click below and the link to join will be sent. So they join my newsletter and they get a blueprint as well. They click this as consent. It also shows me that they are real, engagement. And then boom, they click here and submit the form, which is connected to a CRM, a customer relationship manager. It's a form with a workflow attached to it that triggers an automation that sends them the resource that they want to receive, and they drip into my pipeline, the most interested people, and my CRM contact list. This is a lot more in depth that I could talk about, but to not make this video 2 hours long, I'll save this for another one. Let me know in the comments if you want that video part 2 to show you how to create the workflows and automations behind this system. Now, in this case, I had 17 interested opportunities, each one valued at $5,000 because that's what the value ladder led up to. It doesn't mean they paid me $5,000. That is the opportunity, okay? Which meant that if 100% of them close, I would make $85,000 off a post. That's fantastic, but that's not realistic, right? That's not usually what happens. It's a numbers game. You want to have a lot of these people coming in. Now, let's say even if 10 or 11% of these people converted, that's $10,000 converted off of one post with 0 ads. So that shows you the power of this content marketing funnel backed with a good system and an offer that works well. It could make you a lot of freaking money. And not to mention the smaller items that they probably purchased before buying the core offer, like the paid strategy call or the paid webinar, if I have one on the way to the core offer. The cool thing about everything we just talked about is that it's data acquisition. So when you have the data and you have the strategy that works, a CTA that works, a content that works, when you start putting money behind it, aka in ads, it's already proven and stress tested. You don't have to guess on what works and what doesn't because your audience is already telling you. The money you're making organically is already telling you. So if you want to duplicate that result, if I want to make another 20, 30, $50,000, I would grab this same post, just put money behind it with the same system, and that's it. I appreciate you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.